Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. A couple weeks ago I made a video about 3 things that bosses need to avoid doing. They're mostly physical mannerisms to avoid just for appearance's sake. This week I'm going to continue down that vein and make 4 things that a boss needs to avoid doing, part 2, and those are concentrating on verbal, psychological things. If you did not see the video of the part 1 of this, I will link it up here and in the description as well. Thank you very much. Let's get this done.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, the real Phil Belk. On this channel we talk about life, career, personal and professional development, and of course anything else that'll pop into my head. So, stick around, have a listen, drop a comment. All right, let's go!
Number 1, avoid sarcasm during coaching exercises. Some might call them discipline. Better to really call them opportunity for coaching. And when you're doing those coaching exercises, avoid sarcasm at all costs. Basically what's going to end up happening is as you use sarcasm in it, the employee is going to forget the whole point of it. What they're going to remember is your sarcasm. What they're going to remember is and take away from it is you being rude, condescending, and essentially the message is going to be lost. Second thing that a boss needs to avoid when they're out on the shop floor or in the office is to avoid interrupting an employee when they're in the middle of doing a really intricate task or a very complex task. Quite often the boss will step out of the office and again the boss is very concentrated on their tasks and they want their answers right away, and quite often they don't have a lot of courtesy for what an employee is working on. So an employee might be busy doing a really intricate setup or something complex or a calculation or something like that. Boss will come up and be like, hey, so-and-so, I need to know blah, blah, blah. What's going on with this, blah, 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 right? And they don't have any courtesy for what the employee is doing. The employee's going to turn around, give them the answer, the boss is going to walk away, and all of a sudden you're going to end up going, the employee going, oh, where was I? Forget to do a step, forget a part of the process, skip something, it's just creates errors, right? All because that boss had to have his answer or their answer or her answer right away, Be courteous with your employees. The world does not revolve around you, bosses. The third thing that a boss should always avoid doing Third thing a boss needs to avoid doing. It's my neighbors. Third thing a boss needs to avoid doing. Stepping out of the office, chip on their shoulder, having a little bit of a power trip, having a bad day, and finding that first employee or that target employee that you see and you want to use as a scapegoat, and you come up to them and you're like asking them an overtly easy question or an overtly silly question, a silly bugger question, and you come up to them and you ask that question to try to get some sort of reaction, belittle them or gain some sort of admission from them. You're trying to maybe ask them an overtly easy question to disarm them, so get their defenses down, so that way then you can get that admission out of them. Employees are extremely good at seeing through stuff like that. Employees are very good at seeing manipulation. And when an employee sees you trying to play a game like that with manipulation, you've lost them. You've probably lost them for good. Because an employee does not have some sort of substandard intelligence level. You as a boss, it's not like you come out of your ivory tower and you you have some sort of higher level of emotional intelligence. An employee sees through your manipulation immediately. And like I said, it's likely impossible to get them back. Don't do that. Fourth and final thing a boss should always avoid doing, and this one obviously no brainer, but I have to say it because it happens. Never try to get your employees or ask your employees to do something unethical or illegal. I've had it happen. And the warning bell for me was the boss decided or refused to tell me to do the thing in writing. If they're not willing to tell you in writing, or you have the phone call and then you reply back with an email, as discussed, I am being asked to do blah, 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 and is this okay? You wait for that confirmation back in writing. If you do not get it, and it's only verbal, there needs to be massive warning bells going off in your head, because your boss is trying to get something underhanded, under the table, around some other people. It can be a dirty situation. Always make sure that if you don't feel right about something and you have you have something in your instincts, trust your instincts, get it in writing or don't do it. All right, everyone, thanks for listening, and apologize for any background noise that might have been occurring. I would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe, and join me for another video next week. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.